Welcome to my English Language Arts course map for Mr. Heintschel. This is a video that should explain for you what to expect in each of the units. And I'm going to cover each slide one by one and just talk a little bit about each of the units that we're going to come across in this school year. The first unit that we're going to approach this year are classroom procedures. And we're going to start things out first and foremost with giving ourselves a goal and a direction for the year. And, setting goals is not easy. And it's best that we learn how to set what's called SMART goals. And those are ones that I'll help you to come up with. They're going to be things that you really want to focus on, but they're things that we have to talk about and we have to agree upon. Next, we're going to talk about and we're going to learn some specific strategies that will help you to be more successful in class. And that's going to start with how you get to class first and foremost, taking you all the way to how to prepare yourself for success going into the next class as well. And that's going to be using assist, slant, and close. Those three you're going to see used in a majority of your classrooms. And then finally, not everybody knows how to work in a group. And to ensure that we're successful when we're assigned group work, we're going to learn a couple of strategies that are the acronym for them. The short way to say them are SCORE and TEAMS. And by learning these, we're all going to understand what the expectations are of group work, how everybody can shoulder what's their fair load, and then also improve our success when we are assigned group work. Next is going to be a unit based on word acquisition. Acquisition means that you're getting something. And what we want to do is we want to increase the number of words that you're able to get and use successfully. And we'll start that out with dissect. Dissect is a way for you to approach big words and attack them piece by piece. Maps will help you to understand what those little pieces each mean and give you a greater understanding of how our language really is a basic set of groups of letters put together. And if we can learn some of those groups and some of those patterns, it will really help us to understand new words as we go forward. And then links is a vocabulary strategy that you learned last year in the 5th grade, or maybe new to you if you weren't here last year as a 5th grader. And links is going to be something that you see used in a lot of different classes here at Swanton Middle School, be it your English class or your science class, to help you understand the words that we're using in classes. Next, we're going to work on some of your reading comprehension skills. And some of the strategies, if you were here last year, are familiar, such as Rap and Ask It. Rap and Ask It are ways for you to interact with the text before, during, and after reading it. This is going to help you to retain that information. This is going to help you to ask great questions and be able to participate too in classroom discussions if we've all read a similar text with one another. These are fantastic ways for you to practice getting better at reading, remembering, making it mean something to you and make sense to you. Infer is a way for you to approach more difficult concepts within reading and try to see in between the lines of what an author wanted you to know about a story or a text. And Scene is for those of us that really struggle with picturing what is going on in a book, especially if there are no pictures to help you understand what the setting looks like or what's happening in between characters. So Scene is going to be a way for us to strategize and figure out how to create pictures in our own head if we struggle to do that right now. The last unit that we'll be working on is writing. We're going to be writing throughout the year, but we're going to focus on writing in different chunks. And it'll start out with pens and mark. And these are ways for you to approach just writing a sentence successfully. It can be a simple sentence. It can be more complex sentences. The paraphrasing and summarizing strategy is one that you were introduced to last year and is going to help you to be able to write sentences that make sense, but also put other people's words in sentences that make sense as well. That's what paraphrasing and summarizing is. And this is also going to help you to approach, after you've read something, how do I put it in my own words and make it make sense so that other people will understand it as well. Rap, again, you saw that with reading. That also has a big tie-in with writing, because if you're predicting something, we're going to ask you to write down those predictions and check back up and write about, well, maybe your prediction was incorrect or correct because of a certain reason. That's why rap is tied into writing. And then finally, we want you to be able to write paragraphs that make sense. We're at the middle school level now, and 5th through 8th graders are all expected to be able to write 1 to 3 pages, depending on what grade level you're in, that make sense, that have a theme, that tie together really well. So the paragraph writing strategy is going to help you to be able to take ideas, put them together into paragraphs that make sense, and a whole paper of multiple paragraphs that make sense. So this has walked you through what our course is going to look like this year. And at the finish line there, what we hope that you'll have taken away from in this class is a way to better operate in your classes and be more successful, because you understand what's expected of you as a student. You understand the words that are being presented to you. You can remember and really integrate and discuss what those things were that you read, and also share with other people, whether it be through writing or speaking, what you've read about and what your opinion is of some things that you've been exposed to in the classroom. Then that'll carry you on into the next year successfully.